Hello everyone and welcome back to the Little Scale Cars YouTube channel. Today in the review box we have the all-new Porsche Cayman GT4 from Hot Wheels Premium. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at this one and see if it is worth adding to your collection. So let's kick things off with our casting. Looking at our proportions here, everything looks pretty good. Nothing looks out of place or wonky. It pretty much looks like what you would expect out of the Cayman GT4. We'll go ahead and put the real-life car up in the top right-hand corner there for you. So, into our casting, we do have mirrors casted in, which is fantastic and looks great. If we move up front, we have this license plate casted in here. We have all of our general body lines that you'd want to see casted in. The window, or not the windows, these headlights are a piece of the window, so we don't have to worry about this casting ever being released without headlights. Moving into here, all this stuff is casted in nicely. This bit right here is a piece of the base, so it's a little bit different. So moving into the back, we do have kind of this diffuser and exhaust area, also part of the base, so that looks good. The rear wing is metal, but it's not connected to the main body, as you can see in there. It's actually separate. I'm not sure if it's a piece of the base or if it's just like a separate extra piece that they added in. Either way, though, it's a very interesting way of going about that, and I actually think the overall look came out fantastic because you don't get that real thick kind of wing holders that Hot Wheels is typically known for. Moving into our paint and deco, we just have this nice white with some black accents going on. Nothing too crazy. This is from the Fast and Furious. I'm not sure which movie. I'm not really a fan of that franchise, so I've never seen any of the newer ones. So I'm assuming it's to match the movie car. It's not exactly the color I would have personally gone with for the first release, but again, I guess because it's a Fast and Furious car is the whole reason we got this casting to begin with. So I will be thankful of that and just say that it does look good in what we got. And I would say this is probably a realistic color anyway, so it is what it is. For our detail category, we are going to make our way from the front to the back. So starting up front, we do have headlights. As mentioned earlier, they do not get any kind of tampo over the plastic that sometimes we get with premiums. But we do get a little Porsche logo, whoops, right there. We do get this little kind of black strip. We also have these little reflectors on each side. Moving up front, we do have the kind of intakes here meshed in and tampoed. You can kind of hear that texturing, which looks absolutely fantastic. That is one of the best jobs of like meshing that Hot Wheels has ever done when it comes to putting a tampo over it. Moving on down the sides here, this little piece of side intake thing does get some paint on the side, but it does not quite extend into the actual intake area, which is a little bit unfortunate, but not too uncommon for Hot Wheels. Moving into the back, we do get our Cayman GT4 logos there, looking fantastic. We get taillight tampos, and we even have a little tampo up here on the wing. Interestingly enough, we do not get a license plate back here, and we do not get a license plate up here, even though they casted in a license plate holder. I'm assuming that's just because maybe the car in Fast and Furious never used a license plate. Not totally sure, but overall, a pretty healthy amount of details. Moving into our roll test, it does roll very smoothly, as all Hot Wheels models should. For our pros and cons, our first pro is that this is the first release from Hot Wheels of this model. The Cayman GT4 has not been done by too many brands. I think Tarmac Works has one as well. No, it's not Tarmac Works. It is Tarmac Works in collaboration with Mini Champs. So, no, that one's like 30 bucks though. Other than that, I think this might be the only GT4 Cayman. So not too shabby. And for the $6 to $7 price tag, your detail level is pretty good. It's healthy. It looks good. You're getting what you pay for here. So overall, pretty good cons, or pretty good pros. For our cons, though, there is one huge one I want to get to. But first, we're going to just go over and just say, be a little bit weary of QC issues in the paint. We do have a little thing up here on mine. I could not find this one in my area, so I did have a friend who was able to find this one for me, and he just hooked it up for me. Otherwise, I would have normally passed on this if this was easier to find on the pegs. So just be a little bit wary of that. But the real major con, in my opinion here, is this license plate holder up front being casted in. It really disrupts the overall look of the front of the car, and it really just wasn't needed, I don't think. Especially if you're not even going to put a license plate there. Yeah, I just don't know why that decision was made. It overall just kind of disrupts the overall look, in my opinion. For some quick size comparisons, here we have it with the Hot Wheels Porsche Cayman S from the first generation of the Cayman, and the Matchbox Porsche Cayman from the third generation, I believe, of the Cayman. And here we have it with some other Porsches you might have in your collection, with the Mini GT 911 GT2 RS and the Hot Wheels 911 GT3 RS. And finally, here we have it with some other sports cars you might have in your collection, with the Tomica Lotus Evora GTE road car and the Matchbox Audi TT RS. So it is now time to give my overall thoughts, and I am going to go ahead and give this one a 9.2 out of 10. So I was really excited for this. The Cayman is one of my favorite Porsches, and the GT4 is obviously kind of the top of the line version, and I was excited for this. That being said, with what we actually got, I'm overall still very pleased, but that license plate holder is a massive disappointment for me. I just really don't like the way that looks. I'm never a big fan of license plates up front, especially when they're not required. And there is so many examples of this car without that up front that I just feel like it would have been better to do it without. That being said, though, I'm still very excited for future versions of this casting. That license plate holder is not a deal breaker for me, especially if they actually put a license plate on it in future releases. So that being said, I still highly recommend this one if you can find it, and I would absolutely add it to your collection. And with that, guys, that is all I have for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe if you are new, and comment down below telling me what your thoughts are on this particular model, and I will see you in the next video.